you know those kids in high school who have like no fucking friends and sit alone and you know get picked on and shit? Yeah, that was us.
Yep.
We were fucking funny fucking story actually.
Oh God. Now we're going to stories.
We were how we met. We were at a fucking. We had the same class in high school, and it was an oral comm class. In this class, you had to have the class in order to graduate. If you didn't take this class, you couldn't graduate. The whole class was nothing but giving speeches. And me being me, I didn't like fucking talking to people anyway. And then she just, you know, was just Madison, so she didn't talk to anybody either.
Oh my God.
And it just so happens that the fucking lineup, like the seating order, we sat next to each other, literally right next to each other. And we had to go around the room and say something about ourselves. And granted, I was a senior, and she was a year below me. So like I'm tripping balls, and I'm like, oh shit, there's Maddie, you know. And I'm like, oh crap, and I gotta go around the room and talk about myself, which I didn't want to do. And it gets to her, and the question was, what's your favorite artist? And she goes, Cascada. Just like
Shut
that.
up.
I'm not even lying. And it gets to me, and I love Japanese rock bands. I love all that J-pop stuff. I'm down with it. Like One OK Rock is like one of my favorite bands. I'm not even lying. But I wanted to sound cool. I don't want to sound like a fucking loser. So it gets to me, and they're like, Jay, what's your favorite artist? I'm like, Eminem. And I like Eminem. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm the whitest black kid ever. And Eminem's a cool artist. He's great. But I just said it so cool. I didn't want her thinking I was weird. And after that, class was over, and we had a little, like a cool down, a breakdown, or whatever the class was going to be on the next day. And during the whole class, she just kept staring at me like this. And I look at her way, and she look over here. And she do a hair flip, and she look back at me. And she just stare. I'm like, this chick is staring at me, and I'm writing on my paper. I'm like, holy shit, this chick is staring me down. I don't know what to do. And she just keeps staring at me, you know, like just giving these subtle hints, like talk to my ass. I'm like, I can't, dude. Like I'm nervous as shit right now. And I was looking fresh as fuck that day, you guys. Like I was dressed in all black, and she had this white tank top on with like these pants. Like she was looking good. I was nervous as shit. So class ended, and it looked like she was trying to come up and talk to me, but my ass was out. Like I was gone before she even could. And so I get home, and she's like, "What the fuck, Jay? You didn't even talk to me." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Madison." I'm so sorry. It was so nerve-wracking. And after that, things got a little bit easier, you know. And second day of class, we went over our speeches. We were talking about speeches, so we had to get ideas on what to talk about. And I talked about myself, which was fucking a horrible idea.
Yeah, I didn't like that idea.
And granted, I didn't even know her this well, so like I wanted something cool. I wanted to look cool. Like I wanted myself to look fucking prestige as possible. So I didn't want to look like a fucking loser. So I started writing things on little notebook cards that when I told my speech, it was all good, you know. And the way it worked is that we pick numbers, you know. Like I was either like number 15 or whatever, and I was like number 30. And so of course I went before her because she was like number 10 or some shit. And I get up there, Lord God, and the speech was on me. And granted, I had no friends. Like, no one fucking knew who I was. No one knows who I am, dude. I'm fucking weird. And, I get up there and I start talking about shit like depression and my social anxiety disorders and shit like that. And I'm just looking at, like, out of everybody in the room, Madison's the only one I can think of. And I'm like, oh shit. I can't believe I'm saying this. And I had this teddy bear. I'm a senior, granted. I'm 17 fucking years old in high school. And, I bring out this fucking teddy bear I had when I was fucking 5. And I'm like, yo, dude, this is Blackjack, and literally, this is the fucking speech. I'm like, this is Blackjack. I wish I had him here right now. I'd show you. But I was like, yo, this is Blackjack. And we don't really, no one really talks to me. And so, my grandmother bought me this teddy bear when I was a little kid, because it was supposed to be like my best friend. And I talked about a fucking teddy bear for my first speech. I'm a fucking senior in high school, dude. I'm like 17 years old having a little teddy bear, like having a moment. People were just looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. It was the most nerve-wracking shit of my life. After that, it was Madison's turn. Holy shit, dude.
Oh my god. Shut up. I was awkward. I still am awkward, but not as much.
Dude, I will never forget the speech because, and Grant, I'm still trying to like impress her. Like I feel like I still have to look cool, so I know I bombed that fucking speech down the fucking. So she gets up there, right? Still a little less shit, you know. And she dressed up for the occasion, but she ended up bringing out all of her rave stuff. So she makes candy bracelets and stuff, and she brought all that stuff out. She had like this big ass panda hat she brought out, and people were like, "Oh, that's cool." And she starts talking about shit like, "Yeah, I help." That's literally that voice. She's like, "Yeah, if you take her hair and she do that." It's like, I help people with like depression and stuff, and suicide, and like I help them cope. And she started petting her hair and shit. She's like, I make candy bracelets. I'm like, holy shit! I thought my speech was bad. Her speech was just fucking, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I didn't do that bad. And I couldn't make eye contact with the dude because it was just so fucking weird. And she finally finished, and it was just so weird because like I would have never thought that now we would be like what we are. And I was a year ahead of her, so that means that I graduated before her. So my last year of high school was like the worst because we had no friends. No one, like everyone just owned our ass. So we just hung out all the time together, which wasn't bad at all. I mean, literally what we like dancing randomly and shit is just something we do on a daily basis. And I guess we were just too weird. People didn't like us. But, you know, we always had each other's backs. And then when I graduated, it was sad because who the fuck was she going to hang out with?
I know. I had to sit by myself for the longest time because people in high school are dicks. And I'm glad that I finally got to graduate and get away from all those
I went to your
fuckers, I swear.
graduation.
Yeah, you did.
You didn't come to mine.
You were there.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but you didn't come to mine.
I was doing something. I don't know what it was, probably drugs, but I was doing something.
Sorry, Jay, I was doing drugs. I couldn't come to your fucking graduation.
Yeah, I was doing too many pills.
No, graduation's cool as shit, but y'all know Madison. So when she walked, I mean, y'all know Madison, and when she walked across that stage, there's a lot of people who also know Madison, and they're like, "Holy shit, is that her?" I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing, but like, yes.
I was the chick that was arrested the last week.
The chick that was arrested.
That also everyone found my Instagram account. That was also. Oh my god.
Funny as shit.
You like role playing a child? Like it's not like that, people.
People don't understand. They just don't get it. But I do. And it was cute. Okay, she looked cute in her gown and shit. And I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, there's Maddie. She's all grown up. And then people are like, holy shit, dude, I know her Instagram account. I'm like, oh, she's like, that's the girl I like playing dappers. I'm like, holy shit. You guys, it's not like it's
me.
It was great. It was a great time.
Hey, at least my mugshot looks somewhat okay.
I searched for that. They post mugshots.
It's
daily.
on everything.
They post them daily on Facebook. I have not seen them.
It's on. All you have to do is look up my name, and it shows up. This video's 8 minutes.
Oh, okay, that was too long. I got carried away.